What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is referee Steven Dumeng rocking a Pac-Man shirt that I got from Five Below that I love. We're going to not waste any time. Let's get right to our UFC 314 predictions. Representing the mixer here, our good friends at 1495 Sports. Opening up the main card, we have light heavyweights in action. Dominic Reyes, 14-4, looking to continue his current two-fight winning streak against Nikita Krylov, 30-9, who we haven't seen in a few years. I actually thought Krylov was the older fighter, but he's actually younger than Dominic Reyes. I also feel like I saw Krylov, well, this is true though, but he definitely fought in the UFC like 10 years ago. I can't believe it already. However, that said, we have two guys who are looking to stand and bang and score a finish. It's very rare these guys don't go to a finish. Will that happen here? I don't know. There's only one KO TKO loss for Krylov. Unfortunately, Reyes saw a very bad string of stoppage losses not that long ago, but it seems to be that he is, it looks to seem that he's gotten out of that hole he was in with the current two-fight winning streak. Will we see a finish here? These guys, again, always looking for it, but I will say, despite that string of losses for Reyes and also, again, Krylov not being in action for 2 years, I do see this one going to the cards. Both guys typically are very hard to finish, and I don't see it happening here. I think the time away from the octagon is going to affect Nikita's performance. Reyes is going to be looking to potentially make that final run in light heavyweight, and he's going to have to do it if he wants to get close to that title at this point. This is really, I feel for Reyes, every fight for him is do or die more than ever, than anything. And with that said, I'm going to go with Reyes by unanimous decision. I think it'll be an exciting fight. I think these guys are going to throw hands. But I do feel that Krylov is very durable. This fight will be, I feel, largely contested on the feet, but we will see Reyes continue the streak and snap Nikita Krylov's own 3-fight win streak with a unanimous decision win. I'm going to go with Reyes on that one. Following that, we have some more action. We have a debut. You don't hear that very often these days, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, well, you know what? There are plenty of debuts. I stand corrected. But from a rival company, let me be more specific here. We have the debuting Patricio Pitbull Fahedi, who made a legacy in this business fighting in Bellator. And, he was there for, I believe, well over a decade. And, yeah, he was. And, again, synonymous with Bellator, much like Michael Chandler was. And we will finally see Patricio Fahedi in action in the UFC. For me, honestly, I've always been a long-time fan. Better late than never. 36-7. He is on he's riding a win in his last fight against Yair Rodriguez. And we have Rodriguez at 19-5. They're doing Pitbull no favors, throwing him right into the fire, I feel. This is a tough fight. Despite Rodriguez currently riding a 2-fight skid, it's against Volkanovski and Ortega, arguably some of the greatest of all time. Rodriguez is a very, very tough fight, I feel, for Pitbull, especially this point of Pitbull's career, having endured well over 40 MMA fights. Yair, the younger, fresher fighter in that regard, about half as many fights, nearly, I believe, half as many. But in any case, this stuff really adds up when it comes to my picks, whether it's age or amount of fights, inactivity. There's a bunch of variables when it comes to my predictions. And what we'll see here, Rodriguez looks to favor the knockout. I think Patricio is going to look to end it quickly. I think he's going to try and take Yair out in the first round with some strikes. Could that potentially happen? I think so. But is it going to happen? I don't think so. I think, unfortunately, Pitbull will be coming up short. I would love to be proven wrong because I've always been a fan. But unfortunately, I just don't see it happening. Again, I think there's a number of factors here, whether it's age, the amount of, durability at this point, considering he's had so much mileage. And Yair also, actually, his last 2 losses definitely added some years. However, I do think he's going to look to get back on the winning track. I think we'll see Yair score a unanimous decision win, spoiling the debut of Pitbull, and maybe we will see a Pitbull-Chandler fight, another one, because these guys really, they're for me, they're the faces of Bellator. I know Bellator is no longer, but they were the faces of that company for me. And we will see, again, potentially another rematch down the line with those guys. But again, I'm going to go with Yair by unanimous decision. And moving on, we have Jean Silva, 15-2 against Bryce Mitchell, who is 17-2. Very similar records. Silva has been on fire. I believe undefeated in the UFC. It looks like he is 4-0. Very violent fighter, all stoppages. And he's looking to add another one to the list. This time, Bryce Mitchell, who's currently flip-flopping wins and losses in his last 4. He won by slam knockout. You don't see that all the time against Kron Gracie. Last fight out for Bryce. Prior to that, he was on the receiving end of probably, in my opinion, the most violent knockout I've ever seen in UFC history, personally. That was, wow, catastrophic. It was probably, again, it was horrifying to see, actually. But that said, what will happen here? Bryce usually looking to go for the submission. The Gracie win actually is his only win by knockout or TKO on his resume. And we have Silva, who is the complete opposite. 12 wins by knockout. What will we have here, ladies and gentlemen? Bryce could get the submission. Will it happen? I don't see it happening. I don't. I think we're going to see Silva score a TKO stoppage I'm going late in the first round. I think Silva is going to bring the pain, and he's going to throw those hands. I think he's going to connect on Mitchell, and Mitchell may be able to weather the storm for a bit, but I think Silva will be able to finish the deal. I'm going with Silva by TKO in the first round. Moving on, we have Paddy Pimblett, the baddie, 22-3 against Michael Chandler, a fan favorite. Paddy Pimblett, also a fan favorite, so arguably 2 fan favorites, and probably not one of my personal favorites, but a favorite nonetheless. And we will see his undefeated UFC career on the line. We have him at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in a row against Michael Chandler now, who has been flip-flopping. He's more on the flopping right now, but currently 1-4 of his last 5. So Chandler really needs to make this one happen. We have not seen his arm raised in victory in nearly 3 years, which was that devastating highlight reel knockout that he scored over Tony Ferguson. And the game plan here is very straightforward. Chandler doesn't make any secrets about it. He's going to look to throw hands. Paddy, very exciting fighter in his own right. I think he will gladly accept the offer. I think these guys are going to stand and bang. And this is a tough one for me to call. I believe Chandler has the power to stop Paddy. I I feel like Patty will be the smarter fighter. So that definitely plays a factor here. This one's tough. I'm not gonna lie. I can see Chandler scoring the stoppage, but I could also see Patty again just kind of going toe to toe, being eventually the more defensive fighter and using that to his advantage to score a decision victory. What do we do here? What are we thinking? I think we're going to see, I'm playing it very safe here, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to see Pimblett score a unanimous decision victory over Chandler. I think it's going to be an exciting fight despite it going the full contest or, going to the cards to the judges. But I do feel Pimblett will be, again, very much willing to stand and bang. But he's not going to, I don't think he's going to allow Chandler to connect. And that will be how Patty will be able to kind of just pick Chandler apart across all the rounds and then eventually score the decision victory. In our main event, we have Diego Lopes, who is 26-6 against Alexander Volkanovski, a GOAT, one of the greatest all time, 26-4, looking to get back on track as Volkanovski, that is unfortunately riding a 2-fight skid, 2-3 in his last 5. This is, again, very do or die for Elias fighters on that night. But Alex certainly looking to get back on track. This is for the interim featherweight championship. We will see Volkanovski again. Lopes looking to make it happen here. This is a tough fight for me to call. I feel it could really go either way. I mean, I think these guys are very evenly matched. Some people may not agree. I think it is. I mean, Lopes has looked like a monster in his last 5 fights. 5-fight win streak for Lopes. Like I said, Volkanovski, unfortunately, on the wrong side of things right now. However, will he be able to make it happen? Will he be able to get back on track? I don't know. He's 36. Again, he's taken a lot. His last few losses were not, they were rough. You know what I mean? They were not, how do I put this in a polite way? They were tough losses, I guess is the best way to say it. And I think Lopes is going to, some people, I don't know, I feel some people are calling an upset, but I think Lopes will be #new. I think Lopes is going to come out swinging, and I think he'll be able to connect and eventually finish the fight. I'm going Lopes by TKO in the 2nd round. Again, Volkanovski has a storied history, an amazing career, and I just, it would be awesome for him to get the win and retire on top and get the championship. But Lopes is a tough fight, and I think he's going to come for the stoppage. That is Lopes. He has 10 wins by knockout, 22 finishes in general. Volkanovski, very smart fighter, very defensive when he needs to be, but also scores his fair shares of knockouts. He has 13. So it could certainly happen where he could grind out the win by decision. I just don't see it happening. I'm going Lopes by TKO. And those are my picks. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. As always, check out our friends at 1495 Sports. This has been The Mixer. Enjoy UFC 314. Till the next one.